Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're rediving into a super important topic. Green flags versus red flags in dating and relationships. We've all been there, trying to figure out if someone is a keeper or if we should run for the hills. Sometimes the signs are subtle, and other times they're screaming at you. So, let's break down the key differences to help you navigate the dating world with more confidence. We'll cover everything from communication and boundaries to how they treat the waiter. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be a pro at spotting the good, the bad, and the truly concerning. Let's start with the absolute foundation of any healthy connection: communication style. A huge green flag here is consistency. Their texting and calling habits are predictable. You're not left staring at your phone, wondering if you'll hear from them today or next week. There's a comfortable rhythm, and you don't have to play guessing games. On the flip side, a major red flag is that hot and cold behavior. One day, they're showering you with attention, calling you the best thing that's ever happened to them. The next, they disappear for days without any explanation, leaving you confused and anxious. That kind of inconsistency is a recipe for emotional whiplash. Another green flag is active listening. This is more than just nodding along. It's when they remember the small details you've shared. They remember your dog's name, that you're allergic to peanuts, or that you have a big presentation at work next Tuesday. It shows they genuinely care and are present with you. The red flag equivalent: conversational narcissism. This is when they constantly steer the conversation back to themselves. You could be talking about a tough day at work, and somehow it becomes a 20-minute monologue about their own job. They glaze over when you speak and seem to just be waiting for their turn to talk again. And finally, in the communication category, let's talk about intentions. A green flag is when someone is clear about what they're looking for. Whether it's something serious or casual, they're open and honest. This allows you both to be on the same page and make informed decisions. But a glaring red flag is vague labels. They refuse to define the relationship. You get endless lines like, "Let's just see what happens," or "I'm not into labels." While it's fine to take things slow, if months go by and they're still dodging the "what do we" conversation, it's often a sign they're keeping their options open at your expense. Next up, let's talk about boundaries and pacing, because how a relationship develops says a lot. A massive green flag is when someone respects the word no. If you say you're busy, not ready for a certain step, or just not in the mood, they accept it gracefully. There's no guilt tripping, no whining, no trying to wear you down. They respect your autonomy. The red flag here is pressure. This is the person who, after you've said no, continues to push. They try to convince you to change your mind, making you feel bad or difficult for holding your ground. This shows a fundamental lack of respect for your boundaries. Then there's the pace of the relationship. A healthy pace is a wonderful green flag. The connection develops gradually. They're interested in getting to know the real you, your quirks, your past, your dreams, not just the idealized version of you they have in their head. The red flag to watch out for is love bombing. This is intense, over-the-top affection right at the beginning. We're talking excessive gifts, declaring you're their soulmate after 2 dates, or talking about marriage within a few weeks. It feels intoxicating at first, but it's as often a manipulation tactic used to make you dependent on them before you've even had a chance to see their true colors. And what about your life outside the relationship? A green flag is independence. A secure partner will encourage you to see your friends, pursue your hobbies, and have a life of your own. They know that your happiness doesn't solely depend on them. But a big red flag is a tendency towards isolation. They get jealous or pouty when you make plans with other people. They might say things like, "Don't you want to just spend time with me?" and slowly try to cut you off from your support system. They want you all to themselves, which isn't romantic, it's controlling. Alright, moving on to category 3, emotional maturity. This is a big one. A huge green flag is someone who can own their mistakes. They can say "I'm sorry" and mean it, without adding a "but" at the end. They take responsibility for their actions and their impact on you. The corresponding red flag is defensiveness. Instead of apologizing, they flip the blame. They'll say things like, "Well, I wouldn't have yelled if you didn't annoy me," making their bad behavior your fault. This is a classic refusal to take accountability. Another green flag is when someone validates your feelings. Even if they don't agree with your perspective, they can acknowledge that your emotions are real and valid. They might say, "I see why you feel hurt," which opens the door for productive conversation. The toxic red flag here is this is a manipulative tactic where they deny reality to make you question your own sanity or memory. They'll say things like "that never happened," or "you're being too sensitive," or "you're imagining things." It's designed to erode your confidence and make you easier to control. And let's not forget about emotional regulation. A green flag is someone who can handle frustration without losing their cool. They might get annoyed in traffic, or if their coffee order is wrong, but they handle it like an adult. They don't let small inconveniences ruin their oya. The red flag is volatile reactions. This is when minor issues cause a disproportionate explosion of anger. They might scream at another driver, slam doors, or give you the silent treatment for hours over something trivial. This kind of emotional instability is exhausting and a sign of deeper issues. Now, let's talk about how they treat other people, because it's a window into their soul. A simple but powerful green flag is what is known as the waiter rule. Are they polite, patient, and respectful to service staff, waiters, cashiers, drivers? It shows they treat everyone with a baseline level of human decency, not just people they want to impress. The red flag is a superiority complex. They're rude, demanding, or condescending to service workers. How someone treats a person they perceive as below them is how they'll likely treat you once the honeymoon phase is over. Think about how they talk about their exes. A green flag is when they speak about past relationships with maturity and respect, even if things ended badly. They can take some ownership for the part they played. A major red flag is the "all my exes are crazy" narrative. If every single one of their past partners was supposedly crazy, toxic, or the problem, you have to wonder who the real common denominator is. It often suggests a lack of self-awareness and an inability to see their own role in relationship failures. And how do they act around your people? A green flag is when they make an effort to be inclusive, they are polite to your friends and family, and they try to introduce you to their own social circle. They want to integrate your worlds. The red flag is when they're rude to your friends. They might subtly make fun of them, openly criticize them, or just refuse to engage at all. This is another isolation tactic, meant to drive a wedge between you and the people who care about you. Finally, in our modern world, we have to talk about digital behavior. A green flag here is digital trust. They don't act shady with their phone. They aren't hiding their screen every time you walk by. It doesn't mean you need to know their password, but there's an openness and a lack of anxiety around their devices. The red flag is intense secrecy. Their phone is always face down, locked tight, or suddenly on Do Not Disturb only when they're with you. This kind of behavior often indicates they have something to hide. Another digital green flag is respectful posting. They ask you before they post a picture of you on social media. They respect your digital privacy and your image. It's a small gesture that shows a lot of consideration. The red flag is playing social media games. This includes things like the soft launch, where they post cropped photos or vague hints of you, not to celebrate you, but to make other people jealous or keep their options open. Your relationship shouldn't be a tool for their online clout or validation. So there you have a deep dive into the green flags that signal a healthy, promising connection and the red flags that should make you pause and reevaluate. Remember, nobody is perfect, and one minor slip-up doesn't necessarily mean you should end things. But a pattern of red flags, especially across different categories, is a serious warning sign. Your intuition is powerful. Listen to it. Prioritize your peace and your emotional safety above all else. You deserve a partner who adds to your life, not one who drains it. Thank you so much for watching today. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more content. Let me know in the comments, what are the biggest green or red flags you've encountered? Stay safe and take care. See you in the next one.